Good afternoon. Welcome to Beavercreek Rotary. I'm your host and president, Stephen Brown. Happy Good Friday. I'd like to thank our greeters, Karen and Brian, for helping out. Alex called to let me know that Stephen Thaller's caught on fire again while he was on the way here. So he did not greet. And Beth will
garden center.
ridicule her later. So
It was on fire yesterday.
I'd like to thank Eric Marcus for being our ticket master, Mike Zwick, Pete Bales, and Mark Weinstein for our great programs, Jim Gundel and Alex Sahara for our website. I'd like to invite Denny up to do the invocation.
Would you please join me? May those assembled here today enjoy the many offerings of Rotary. May we abide by the rules that we have established, those of trust, fellowship, and ethics, that we may place service above self in our daily endeavors. And may we always test ourselves in the efforts to be sure that they are the truth, good for all concerned, of benefit to mankind, and provide peace and understanding. Amen.
That was perfect for today. Thank you. Secretary's report, David Cusack.
Okay, so let's start out. We have a special guest, Shane Troutwine, one of the four-way test winners.
Hello, welcome.
Teresa has a guest.
My husband JR.
JR, welcome back.
Thus far, we're approaching 50%.
All right, great. Thank you, Scott Hadley and Beth Cusack, and now Sandy Brubaker for joining us on Zoom. Sergeant at Arms, he's already standing. Don Adams.
That was a little underwhelming.
Well, talking about service above self, I was here last night for the volunteers here in Beavercreek, and we got to recognize them. That was a lot of fun. The whole place was full, and there were volunteers from all through the city, and all the city council members got a chance to get up and say something about it. So it's really nice to be able to recognize them and let them know how much we appreciate them for what they do, because I know the county's the same way. We couldn't get by without our volunteers. There's just no way. Well, today's Good Friday. Other things that are notable about today, it's National Clean Out Your Medicine Cabinet Day, National Glazed Spiral Ham Day, National Take a Wild Guess Day, and everybody's favorite National Tax Day, National Titanic Remembrance Day. And it's also National Work Zone Awareness Week, so be careful out there with the work zones. It's National Purple Up Month this month. It's the month of the military child, and Beavercreek Schools was recognized for 3 of their schools in the Purple Up Award, so congratulations for that. One of our other guests that we had here at Rotary earlier this year, actually around Christmas time, Beavercreek High School Friends Show Choir is having their 50th anniversary celebration with a block party on May 7th at the high school. So if anybody's interested, it's from 4 to 7. Try to go out and support them a little bit. They're also going to have their finale that evening from 7 to 9. There's some sad news in our current events. You know, Dwayne Haskins, former Ohio State football player and Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, was killed. Baskin Robbins ice cream stores are changing their logo and expanding beyond ice cream. And we'll start selling bikes. Bikes. And other things, all online, but I guess they have to expand their offerings. Elon Musk now owns 9% of Twitter, refused to join the board because he wanted to buy the whole thing. So he's offered a $43 billion buyout for that. Cash, yes. And he apparently has the cash, to my understanding. Greene County Board of Elections is making upgrades to its early voting system for both primary and general elections this year, aiming to reduce wait times and other issues voters experienced in the last 2 years. And for someone that has run for office and has waited for those results to come in from Greene County, I hope they fix that part of it. Beavercreek City got a $235,000 federal grant to allow them to buy another 48 acres along with 100 acres along Shakertown. So once that's completed, that will be the largest park in Beavercreek at twice the size of Rotary. And also the Greene County Public Health Department gave out 52% more kits for opioid overdose reversal medication in 2021 compared to the year prior. That's Narcan. So that tells you there's still a lot of problems out there. Today in history, in 1955, Ray Kroc started McDonald's. I don't know where we'd be without McDonald's. President Harry Truman in 1952 signed the official Japanese peace treaty. In 1947, at age 28, Jackie Robinson became the first African-American Major League Baseball player to play in the professional sports, professional baseball. In 1923, insulin becomes generally available for people suffering with diabetes. And in 1912, with her band playing on the deck, the ocean liner Titanic sank at 2:27 a.m. in the North Atlantic. In 1865, Abraham Lincoln died after John Wilkes Booth, or conspiracy theorists, other people say, shot him. Somebody shot him. A couple of birthdays on this day: Leonardo da Vinci, it's 1452. One of my favorites, Joseph Seagram from Seagram's Distilleries. I don't know where we'd be without him. Elizabeth Montgomery of Bewitched fame was born on this day. We don't have any club birthdays this week, but Ed Shaughnessy is not here today. He's got 23 years in the club, and there's a wedding anniversary that was yesterday. Pete Landerman and his lovely wife Terry, 32 years. I always have to get into some strange laws when I'm up here, so I'll get a few more of them. It's illegal to send a surprise pizza delivery to someone's house in Louisiana. They declared it's illegal to send anything to a person's house without their knowledge, even a free meal. In Alaska, it's illegal to wake a sleeping bear to take a photo.
Yeah, I think that's
Thinking that one.
In Arizona, you could face legal recourse if you let your donkey sleep in the bathtub. And David, you might like this. It's illegal to cry on the witness stand during a state case in Los Angeles. And staying with the lawyers, in Kentucky, lawyers, legislatures, and public officers are required by law to take an oath promising that they have never fought in a duel with a deadly weapon. Spiteful gossip or talking behind someone's back is illegal in Indiana. I've been there. I don't think they abide by that one. Scaring a pigeon in Massachusetts is illegal. And in Missouri, it's against the law for 4 or more women who aren't related to rent a house or apartment together. I won't go into that. Here's some interesting facts that I always like to share that maybe you guys could use at a party, and when it gets a little dull. Humans have been performing dentistry since 7000 BC, which makes dentists one of the oldest professions. Actually, the oldest profession is sales, even though some people think it's that other profession. That was just a subset of sales. Ancient Roman surgeons were trained to block out the screams of human pain. In 1953 to 1957, and some of you might remember this, NBC Today Show had a chimpanzee co-host named J. Fred Muggs. It's estimated he brought the network in about $100 million. And this I found interesting. Apples, peaches, and raspberries are all members of the rose family. There's a geocache on the International Space Station, placed there in 2008, and it's been visited 4 times by astronauts. Canada eats more macaroni and cheese than any other nation in the world. A French general gave John Quincy Adams a pet alligator that he kept in the White House bathtub and enjoyed showing it off to people. The length of an animal's yawn is based on how large their brain is. The bigger the brain, the longer they yawn. In Switzerland, it's illegal to own just one guinea pig. They say that's because guinea pigs are social animals and it would be animal abuse if we just owned one. And there are more Lego minifigures than there are people on the earth. I have a friend, he keeps trying to convince me he's a compulsive liar, but I don't believe him. I'm on a whiskey diet. I've lost 3 days already. I went to see the doctor about my short-term memory problems. He charged me in advance. Always take life with a grain of salt, plus a slice of lemon and a shot of tequila. My first experience with culture shock, probably when I peed on an electric fence. As I get older, I remember all the people I've lost along the way. I think to myself, maybe a career as a tour guide wasn't the proper choice. The person who invented autocorrect should be burned in hello. Money talks. Mine always says goodbye. I have a dog to provide me with unconditional love. So if anyone who tells me they do yoga every day, that's a real stretch. Well, they're not all funny. I've just written a song about tortillas. Actually, it's more of a rap. You say money can't buy happiness. Well, I just bought a Happy Meal. Don't you hate it when someone answers their own questions? I know I do. Take my advice. I'm not using it. The first time I got a universal remote, I thought to myself, man, this changes everything. The world tongue twister champion got arrested. I hear they're going to give him a really tough sentence. When you're in a checkout line and the lady at the register asks you if you found everything, look at her and say, why? Are you hiding something? Here's a pro tip for you guys. Carry binoculars with you when you're hiking, so that when you make frequent stops, it looks like you're enjoying nature and not fighting for air. I just got a new bumper sticker. It says, look out for the idiot behind me. Takes a while sometimes. I always like to leave you with a positive message. One of my mentors when I was in sales was Zig Ziglar. He wrote, if you can dream it, then you can achieve it. You will get all you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want. And I found that to be really true. Today's fines. If you have visited McDonald's in the last week, that's $1. If you've had one of Baskin-Robbins' original 31 flavors, that's $1. If you own stock in Twitter, that's $1. If you've ever tried to wake a sleeping bear and take a selfie with him, that's $1. If you have ever tried to get back a message that your phone or computer auto-corrected to something different, that's $1. And before I turn it over to Stephen for Happy Bucks, I just want to wish everybody a happy Easter. Thank you, guys.
Great job, great job. We always have really great sergeants. Obviously, David Fleming is going to be greatly missed. But I will say, this is the first time I can think that we've had a four-way speech attestant here, and I wasn't worried about what David was going to say. So it's kind of nice today. Happy Bucks. Who's happy today? Eric.
I've got a bunch of happy bucks. The first is the most important. Today's a very special day because it's kind of the confluence between a major Christian holiday and a major Jewish holiday. And Jews and Christians are celebrating a holiday today, the same holiday for different reasons. The second is, thanks to this holiday, taxes aren't due till Monday.
That's good to know.
And the third one, this is the most important of all. Sunday, this Sunday is International Malbec Day.
All right.
Malbec Day. Malbec's wine, guys. You know that, right?
We do. Thank you, Eric. Anyone else? No one's happy? Shannon, what you got for us today, sir?
Okay, so a couple of things coming up. We're getting back into camping season and our camporees next weekend. I'm looking forward to that. Isaac got a job at Graders. And so if
Nice.
you end up going out and getting ice cream, make sure you stop in and give him some free. So other than that, it's a sunny day. Hard to not be happy about that.
Love it. I can always count on you. Anyone else? Yeah.
Last week I went out to the Air Force Museum and looked at our cherry trees that we planted in the district. I don't remember what year we did it. Was it like-
2015.
You know, they were phenomenal. And I encourage everyone to go out and see your stuff. Now, there's not as many trees that what we planted. I think we lost way to the front, but towards the buildings, they're there.
Love that.
Who was district governor then?
Oh my God. That was a good
That'll be $1, Eric. Anyone else? All right, let's do the drawing. The winning number is 0219. All right. So just a reminder, half the proceeds go to our annual Christmas basket that we do every year in Beavercreek. Hot Groves, all right. We have a very special presentation today. I'm actually gonna ask Denny to come up and introduce her. This is being recorded to let you know.
Well, we have a very special presentation today, and I would like to invite the winner of our four-way speech contest for Shea Trout Wine. And I will hand her the microphone to allow her to present to you her speech. This one was really unique, and I think you're going to really enjoy this. It's pay attention and think of your own life. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So sibling order is that something some people consider trivial, while others believe it to be a major part in someone's personality. There are stereotypes for every child, whether it be the oldest, middle, or youngest, and every family dynamic is different. But I will say my philosophy is, if you haven't wanted to karate kid, crane kick your sibling into next week, are you even siblings? The oldest sibling receives different stereotypes from that of the middle and the youngest. The middle is often considered left out or being a peacekeeper, while the youngest is oftentimes spoiled or being a risk taker. But the oldest automatically has to take on the responsibilities of the younger siblings. So today, let's put the oldest sibling through the four-way test and see if they can be considered more of a parent than a sibling. We will do this by testing to see if it is the truth, if it is fair, if it will build goodwill and better friendship, and if it is beneficial to all involved. Is it the truth? I know many older siblings will definitely argue that they helped raise their younger siblings, but I think this is subjective to your family dynamic. If you have two parents who work full-time, or if you are in an unfortunate situation where your parents aren't fulfilling their duties, then you may feel more like a parent than an older sibling. But I think this also has something to do with age gaps. Being 2 or 3 years apart isn't that big of a difference. Although when you're 16, driving your 14-year-old sibling to high school with you, it seems like the end of the world. But when you're someone like me who has a 7-year age gap with my brother, you always had to help out. So yes, in the grand scheme of things, I think older siblings do take on parental responsibilities simply because of age. Is it fair? I kind of think that's just how it goes. You can't control your birth order. When you're the oldest, you learn to take care of yourself and others. You're the oldest. Set a good example. You're the oldest. You don't require as much attention. You're the oldest. Be a good role model. I think it is fair to give older siblings more responsibilities, but it becomes unfair when they watch their younger siblings grow up and aren't held to the same standards or aren't given the same responsibilities. Will it build goodwill and better friendship? I think oftentimes there are rifts between siblings because the older sibling sees their younger sibling get away with a lot more stuff than they ever could. And this can create bitter feelings, but I think because the older siblings and the younger siblings have to stay together so much and interact, it creates stronger bonds. But I will say, acknowledging the older sibling can create an immense feeling of pride within them. Because, we do a lot to help our younger siblings, and it's nice to feel acknowledged. Is it beneficial to all concerned? I think it is beneficial to the parents to have a parent-adjacent figure. I think it is beneficial to the younger siblings to have someone they can always look up to and someone they can always rely on. I think it can be beneficial to the older siblings. The experience they gain with their younger siblings will make them incredible parents. In addition, they create strong bonds with their young siblings, and this is an incredible thing. But oftentimes, if they don't have strong bonds with their siblings, because when they do try to step into parental roles, the younger sibling says, "You're just bossy," or the classic, "You're not my mom." Being the oldest sibling, I can definitely tell you it is one of my favorite jobs. I get to watch my younger brothers flourish into gentlemen. But sometimes I feel like more of a parent than an older sister. It's never what can my brothers do for me, but what can I do for my brothers. But even though this is true, I love my family to death and wouldn't change this for anything. So the next time you see your older sibling or someone who you know is an older sibling, make sure to thank them. Thank you.
Okay, outstanding. On behalf of the club, we present you this check for $300
Thank you.
as our four-way speech winner. Congratulations. We have more. We had Andrew Beckman was the second place winner, and I have a check for him. And our third place winner
Madison Moore.
was Madison Moore. And both of them were not able to make it today, but we're delighted you came.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Yes, thank you so much for coming. That was a great speech. They're always amazing, but I'll do 3 points there. 1, I always say I won the parent lottery, have amazing parents. 2, I'm blessed to have siblings. I'm the youngest of 3. And my third point is you hit it on the nail. I was definitely the one that took the most risk and was spoiled. So you were correct on that. So I'll tell you.
Everything too.
Yeah, they got me there. No, thank you very much. Appreciate that. We're gonna invite Pete Bales up. He's gonna introduce our other speaker today.
Thank you, Stephen. And I am the oldest in my family, and you're spot on. Yeah, my brother gave me fits.
Pete, I saw you stand up over there when you were done.
Oh, yeah. Yes, that's right.
Good point.
Well, it is my pleasure to introduce John Domney today, Director of Greene County Parks and Trails. Parks and Recreation has been an amazing part of my life and my career. And so it was really a pleasure to have John share with us all the amazing things happening in Greene County. I'll tell you a little bit about John. He was named the Director of Greene County Parks and Trails in January of 2018. But prior to becoming the director, he spent 37 years with Ohio State Parks. During his career, he spent time in postings all over the state, including 15 years as manager of Cedar Creek State Park. John spent 11 years in the office of the chief of the state parks and retired in 2014 from Chief Operating Officer of Ohio State Parks, Ohio Department of Natural Resources, and was responsible for the management of 74 parks, 119 natural areas and preserves, and law enforcement for Ohio State Forest System. In 2020, John received the Harvey Woods Lifetime Achievement Award from the Ohio Parks and Recreation Association. I was proud to see him get that award. He's a graduate of Wellington High School and Bluffton University, and graduated from 9th Ohio State Park Ranger Academy. John and his wife Elaine have been married for 42 years, and they live in Cedarville, have 6 sons and 10 grandchildren. Please welcome John.
Thanks, Pete. I'm glad to be here. Good to see you all again. Since you have me back so often, it's either because you enjoy it or you have trouble finding speakers. But either way, I'm glad to be here. I will tell you, I'm the youngest of 4. I have 3 older sisters, and I can neither confirm nor deny what she had to say. But again, it's my pleasure to be here and tell you a little bit about what's going on in Greene County Parks. As Pete said, I started in January of 18 after spending a few years in state parks and enjoying that. Came in January of 18 and we had great plans and we were gonna get things going, and 18 went quickly, 19 went well. We got some things done, built a few facilities, added some stuff, added to programming. 2020 started well. And then in March, things didn't go so well. And it was a struggle when you're a public service agency and you have no public to serve. And parks stayed open, but we got sent home for a while. When we came back and got regrouped and started going again, it was a struggle for a bit. Even into 21, we had 5 ribbon cuttings we thought we were going to do in 21, because it's important to get in front of the people that actually pay the bills. And so we thought we'd have 5 ribbon cuttings, we planned them out. And because of the issue in getting supplies, we did none of them. So I can tell you now we have a project going, a bridge project at Spring Lakes Park down in Bellbrook. And that bridge project is it started exactly 1 year late, just because trying to get all the material in. So this year, Lord willing, and things don't change, you'll be invited to a lot of things out in the parks that we'll be showing you we've accomplished. Just in the Beavercreek area, at Carl Hole Park, last year we were able to add a playground which was farm themed, because that area had been a farm at one time. So we were able to add that. We were gonna follow it up with a shelter house that was built with a design of the old barn to commemorate that. Lumber being what it is, that has finally arrived, and now we're scheduling to have it constructed, but it was well behind. At the Rust, if you've been out at the Rust lately, you know, we had great plans to redo the home, and we submitted the plans to building regulations on the Friday before Memorial Day of 2019. And it smashed it. Yeah. So those plans went out the window. So we were going to surprise everyone and come up with a new building and use the same kind of exterior look. And we got to 65% with the drawings when everything went south. And when we got back together, the price had gone up about 60%. So that got shelved. And we were going to put a shelter house out there, a nice shelter house to commemorate the home. And well, hopefully this year we'll get that done. We'll get that done. And if you've been by the Russ at all lately in the last 3 weeks, and I came up Beaver Valley Road today, it was a little tough to see the rust for the smoke, but from Siebenthalers. But if you've been by there lately, you'll see we burned the prairie, both below and above. Burned all the prairies. First time in Greene County Park history where they've actually burned the prairies. And if you know much about prairie life, they will not. There are certain varieties of native grasses and flowering that will not reproduce if they're not burnt. Blue stem, for one. So you'll see a great change down below. Now, that's why I came by there on the way up. It's really starting to pop already in the lower area. So that's just kind of update you on what's going on in the Beavercreek parks. But I brought swag along because I know it's important to bring something, because in case you get bored, you can open that up and there are things to read. But I would bring your attention to this flyer. Yeah, there's a back scratcher too. But in this flyer, it'll give you a breakdown of what we've accomplished in the last few years. Because again, we're a levy-based organization. And so I want to make sure that we are responsive and informing the people that are gracious enough to give us the money. So it'll give you just a little quick breakdown of what we are up to and what we've accomplished. Before I get into too much else, I just want to tell you, on April 1st, we had an extreme egg hunt, we call it. And I don't know if any of you are even aware of it, but anyway, it's 18 and over, and it's at night. And it's black eggs hidden at Cesar Ford in the dark. That's why it's 18 and over. It's not for the faint-hearted. So we cordoned off an area, and this year we hid 6,000 eggs. And in the eggs, each person got a piece of candy for your trouble, but there was also a ticket in it with a number on it. And when you got, we let them go out at 8:30 at night, and we had a drone up, so it looks like fireflies going out through the woods. It was a lot of fun. But they were out for a half an hour, then they come in, they could open their eggs, we had a Q code up there, they scanned it, and it would tell them if their number was the winning number. Well, the reason I tell you this is this year I told the events crew, just open it up. It was $5, just open it up. We tried to limit it to 600 people in the past. And I said, just open it up and let's see how many people register. 859. Go look for a black egg in the dark. But anyway, 859 people registered. We did it April 1st. That was a Friday. And it was 38 degrees at 7:30. People started to arrive at 6, and we held them in an area and entertained them for a while, but it was pretty cold. The wind was blowing. It had just rained, and 744 people showed up. So it was a great time. And we, it's not like we gave them, we did candy bars. I can't say that. We did, some of the prizes were candy bars, but we had a 55-inch smart TV. We had a 4-man hot tub. We had all kinds of prizes. Great time was had by all. The reason I wanted to share that with you is there was a young man there, and he took a video of while he was out looking for the eggs. And there's this thing called TikTok. You may have heard of it. And so he posted a 1-minute video on TikTok about the extreme egg hunt at Cesar Ford Park in Greene County, Ohio. Now, as of last Saturday, I haven't looked all this week, it had 3.5 million hits. So Monday, we got a call from Fox News. And they wanted to comment. And if you go to Fox News Digital, it's on there. So we got done talking to Fox News. Well, I let Robin Gregory, who's the events manager, that was her idea for the egg hunt, so she spoke to him, was interviewed by him. Then Yahoo called. And but that was from one thing that we did, there were 3.5 million people saw it. Well, the young fellow made another one because he, in the video, he was showing another woman who was looking, couldn't find an egg. He took one out of his bag and rolled it along and then said, there it is. And she was thrilled. She was jumping up and down, and she's been identified, and she's a media star now too. But anyway, they did all that. So he said when he was running through the woods, I want to win the vacuum cleaner, because there's a vacuum cleaner. Well, so he sends it out. He puts this egg out there. She gets it. He didn't win the vacuum cleaner, but somebody sent to him and said, the woman you gave the egg to won the vacuum cleaner. So I don't know if that's true. But anyway, so he did another TikTok just to say, he said, I didn't need the vacuum cleaner, and he holds up his. Well, that's it, over 1 million hits already. So we had a do-it-yourself craft program Tuesday night. Well, I knew his mom was going to be there. So we gave her one of our official Extreme Egg Hunt t-shirts to give to him. And we've recruited him to do another one. And now he'll be wearing our shirt. So if you see it, that's just the impact that we can have when you get people involved that you never imagined. 3.5 million hits, and it's all coming back to Greene County in Ohio. So we also, 21 was a tough year, but Ohio Parks and Rec Association is the organization, had 2,200 members, and it represents the folks in the field in the state of Ohio. And each year they give out awards in certain areas. 2021, we won 2 first-place awards for the first time in the history of the agency. We got a first-place award for Pearl Spin. I don't know if anyone's been to Pearl Spin. It's on Byron Road in Bath Township. Beautiful. It's really unique in that it's a mound fan. And we put a boardwalk in it, and I encourage you to go out, especially late August, early September, when all the prairie plants are in bloom. Beautiful. But so we won first place in capital improvements less than $1 million. And so we got some good publicity from that. We also, volunteers were mentioned earlier today. The second first place award was for the Trail Sentinel program, which is a group of volunteers that are on the bike trails all the time, and they're our eyes and ears and let us know what's up. They lead night rides, and then they have a day ride as well. First night rides coming up this weekend. And if any of you ride with them at all, they're going to Cedarville. And that means that Dick Walker in Cedarville feeds whoever shows up. So that's always a popular ride. But I just wanted to let you know that in here, it gives you a little idea of what's going on. Cesar Ford is the largest property in our system, and it's 300 acres. And to our staff, we have a staff of 27. And to our staff, they'd say, wow, this place is so big, what are we going to do with it? And I got a big kick out of that because I spent a long time with state parks. Salt Fork State Park, has anybody ever been to Salt Fork? Yeah. 21,000 acres. Yeah. It's the size of a township. There's 72 miles of paved roads in it. But anyway, so when they say 300 acres, it's like being out in the backyard. But anyway, it's Cesar Ford. We've undertaken a lot of stuff. And we used to do Holiday in the Park at James Ranch in Xenia. Well, of course, In 20, we couldn't do it because you couldn't, it was a walking thing and we had Santa Claus and all that. Well, so we shifted it. The staff decided, let's go out to Caesar Ford. We'll put a driving trail through and we'll buy some lights and we'll just have a light display. So we did it on a wing and a prayer and we went out there and it was wildly successful. People enjoyed it, except it was a gravel road in December. And we had to re-gravel it 3 times that month. But anyway, we thought, well, that worked out pretty well. Let's just move it there permanently. We bought some more light displays. We paved the road. And this last year, it was open every day in December from 5 to 9. Each day, we had over 112,000 cars go through there. And 2.5 people per vehicle, conservative. We had 265,000 people see the light display and got a lot of good feedback. Well, that's kind of, again, that's the kind of thing we want to just put out there so folks can enjoy it and they get to see it. So those are the kind of things we have going on. I also included in your packet a program schedule for the year, because we do a lot of things in a lot of different, a wide variety of programs for all different age groups, and we do them all over our system. We want to be relevant in every community in Greene County, so we spread our events out around the county. And as a matter of fact, we actually submitted for a capital improvement grant this year. Since I see the good representative is here, we put in for that in partnership with Jeff Stewart, Bellbrook Sugar Creek Park District, that we each own a parcel of ground along the Little Miami River on the Spring Valley side of Bellbrook. And so we put in a grant to jointly open a facility there to get people access to the river a little better. So we want to be relevant in all of it. So we try to spread ourselves around. And if you get a look and you see what we've tried to accomplish in the last few years, you see the programs that we have coming up, I'll give you an idea of where we're going. And I just brought a couple little videos that I want to share with you so you can see it. Now, this seemed like a really good idea when we thought it up. And this is called Road Trip Rick. Now that Rick, if you've ever been on one of our wellness walks, Rick is the operations manager and he leads the wellness walks for us. And he's an outgoing guy, popular. So one of the staff had the idea of, I guess there was something called Flat Stanley or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, well, now we have Flat Rick, Road Trip Rick, we call him. And we started passing them out and encouraging people to take them along on vacation and send us the picture. Now, you send it to us, you don't send it right to Facebook, because some of the pictures people have sent us, you probably wouldn't want to put Rick there. Not really what we're about, but so you send it to our account and then we screen them and put them up. Well, so we have a map of the entire world, but this was just for this. Give you an idea, we started it March 1st and Rick's been around. Well, you know, I say it was a good idea because we thought it'd be great publicity, except now we got to live with Rick because he thinks he's arrived now. So we actually we made another guy's face, stuck it on it. We call it Wandering Wade. We tell him if Rick keeps up like he is, we're going to send Wade out. But anyway, that's kind of a neat promotion. You can pick one up at our office. I didn't stick it in your swag bag, but if you go online to our website, you can actually print one off and take him along. And he's been you can see he's been all over the Caribbean. But that's a neat little promo that we have going. Now, the biggest thing we're undertaking this year is a campground. You know, we did an extensive survey. We spent 2 years surveying, hired a company. They came out, did a survey because we wanted to see what would be the impact, what would be the greatest impact. And all their information led them back to a campground You know, from my time in state parks, I can tell you, in the last 3 years, state parks have set a record each year for attendance. And I think COVID had an awful lot to do that. People stay closer to home. State parks have 10,000 campsites. And they're breaking records each year. So we decided we're undertaking a campground at Caesar Ford, and for some reason, I don't see my video moving now. Oops, now I gotta go back. There it is, thank you. So this is it, and you're the first group seeing this. I said, we're gonna hang on to it till I go to Beavercreek Rotary and show them. So this is a, you know, it looks like there's a drone flying over our campground. Campground's not really there. But this will be the campground. It'll sit at the old, at the north end of the project at Caesar Ford, what used to be called the Tracy Young Farm. So on the right, the first 12 sites will be full hookup, pull through sites, because that's what the public told us they wanted. There'll be a shower house and a shelter house. So the first 12 is phase 1. So next Thursday, we look at the 100% drawings. Phase 2 will be what you're about to see. It'll be 56 more sites. They're not pull through, but they're full hookup. So we wanted to do all the engineering and all the permitting up front. So we pulled all the permits for the entire thing, phases 1 and 2 both. But we'll do phase 1 this year. We hope if everything goes well, and it hadn't gone well for the last couple of years, we would hope to have people in there by the end of the year. Realistically, it'll probably be next spring before we open it. But I wanted you guys to get a little look at it. We're entering a whole new realm for Greene County Parks, and that's overnight accommodation. But we're excited about the potential of it. We've had a lot of partners help us try to determine where we wanted to go here. And this is kind of a promotion video for Caesar Ford, because when I took the job, I was given 2 goals. One was to get people in parks. And I said, oh, I think I can do that. And 2 was to do something with Caesar Ford, because now, don't tell the staff I said, but Caesar Ford, if you're not familiar with where that is, that's the old Blue Jacket area. Let's see, we're trying to get people out of calling it the old Blue Jacket area. So we had a really nice facility there. You know, Steve, there it is. I got it. Old dog. Oops. It advanced me, but it didn't play me.
Is that currently in the email?
That is. Yeah, the only reason I threw that one in there is because I really like it. Well, I found it, but I can't get to it.
That's the one, I think it's between Cedar, is it between Cedarville and Xenia, that one?
Yeah, it is right on the border of Cedarville. Well, thank you. It takes the master's touch. There is sound with that. I don't know where it is. But anyway, Caesar Ford, the biggest thing we have is the amphitheater. So we started a concert series. And I just wanted you to get an idea of what goes on out there. Now, we're approaching partners, and we're using this as our promotional video to kind of show that over the course of 4 years, that has gradually grown and grown to the point where we think people will want to get behind it. And this past year, that's Craig Morgan. We had Craig Morgan there in the June event. The July event, you'll see, we hold the Ranger Classic, which is a car show. The July event, we had what was called the Pop 2000 tour. And we sold 1,200 tickets for that. So at Caesar Ford, we have a lot going on and a lot of things to offer. There's a championship disc golf course out there that we built a couple of years ago. It's currently ranked #1 in the state, 11 in the nation, and it's in the top 25 in the world. We're going to host a pro-am out there later this year. But so if you've not had an opportunity, we're doing 4 big concerts this year, June, July, August, September, different genre of music each time. Check our website, or if you're a fan of Facebook, check it out because it's a great opportunity as well. The Greene County Band is going to use us as their home site this year. They'll do 3 concerts. But anyway, I just wanted to make you aware of that and what's going on. This was Pop 2000 in O-Town was the main draw, if you ever heard of them. Mostly, you can tell we filled the place with middle-aged women. These guys were popular in 2000. The guy in the middle was Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC. You may have heard of them. And he emceed the event. Very nice gentleman, brought his wife. And he gets up there and he's like, "Hey, Xenia, Ohio." That's something I never thought I'd say in my life.
He pronounced it right.
Yeah, he was a good guy. And that's Cedar Cliff Falls. And I put it up there because that's the one I really enjoy the most. And we did that the first year. So that's just a little bit about what's going on. Again, I appreciate the opportunity to come back. Take your bag. There's a bag scratcher and a couple of other little things. If you get a chance, like us on Facebook, and it'll keep you up to date with what's going on.
We got time for a Q&A. So out of curiosity, the TikTok guy, obviously he's local. How did you get connected with him after you guys realized it was blowing up?
But his mom comes to a lot of our stuff. And she was with him in one of the shots. And he said, "My mom invited me to something called an extreme egg hunt," and that's how it started. And we recognized her.
Wow.
So that's the only, other than that, he doesn't really identify himself, but yeah, kind of wild. Yes, ma'am?
What's the best hiking? I'm not really familiar with it. I know.
Well, all of our trails would be either rated easy or moderate. We don't have to, but I'll tell you, my favorite place to go hiking is at Caesar Ford, especially in the fall. You can go out there this time of year. If you go to the north end and follow the hiking trails, it goes down to the valley. It's actually where the north branch of Caesar Creek starts. So you can go down in there and all the wildflowers are out now. The redbud has started to bloom, the trillium's out. So that's a pretty one. In the fall, it's just gorgeous because the trail winds in and out of the woods. But Pearl Spend, we have a raised boardwalk. And that's why I say the end of August and the first part of September, that's beautiful. You can't hardly go wrong. Yes, sir.
So a couple quick questions. At Caesar's Ford, is there going to be tent camping and group camp?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you could kind of see those off to the left in the video.
Yeah, I figured that was what that was.
Yeah, because we are right on the bike trail.
Yeah. The other thing was at Three Springs, which bridge are you replacing? Is it the traffic bridge as you come in?
Yeah.
Or is it a foot bridge?
It goes through, I should have made that clear. It is the car bridge. It goes through Ernst's property.
That's been a long time.
Yes, well, Chuck Frazier's the senior manager. He's been here 34 years. And he said, we haven't never done a thing to it. So, yeah.
Dude, when I was little, I remember that crummy little bridge.
Yeah, it's a crummy little bridge. It's real expensive to replace. Yes, sir.
Does the park district put out a map of the locations of all their parks that you digressed on today?
They do indeed. They do indeed. And you can, we just got that one redone.
Okay,
So I don't believe it made it in.
all right.
But you go online and you can print one off or stop by our office on Dayton Xenia Road. And we have them, and it's just going to be that same size. You trifold, you unfold it. You can see all the parks, little description down here. You flip it over, it'll tell you what amenities are there.
I'm glad to hear that
There's
county
one for each
parks
park.
can get a map done, but, yeah,
And there's individual ones for each
Oh.
park.
Yep.
yeah.
Yes, and there are individual, we're making new, because we rebranded, so we're making new park maps with all our new branding on them. So you'll be able to get one from each park. Yes, sir.
Lot of questions, hopefully really easy. One, what's capacity in Caesar Ford for like the amphitheater?
1,400.
Three related to Pearl Spin now. I hang out there a lot and I saw in here, it says approved to acquire additional properties. Was that, how recent is that? Because I'm wondering that 13-acre property that's sandwiched between the houses on Byron and the development, it's long, it goes up Yellow Springs Fairfield. The guy has trash in the backyard that you could see from the fin. I didn't know if that was a property that was on your
We're
mind.
trying to get that.
Okay,
She does not want to sell it to us at this point. But we acquired 7.5 acres. Phase 4, the housing development was going
yeah,
in.
planting trees in there now.
Yeah, and it was gonna butt right up against the fin. Well, our surface water came from there. And so we met with the developer, wonderful guy by the name of Oaks. And I said, hey, we have a concern if you build right up to us, that you're gonna affect the water to a mound fin. And he said, oh yeah, what do we gotta do? So he gave us a great price. We bought 7.5 acres and that was the addition it's
Yeah, that's
reference
good. I
to.
know we planted a lot of trees back there that in time will create that buffer.
Yeah,
Two more is, I've been there a lot and there's no restroom, which has been a problem. There's a young lady I've heard with out of Yellow Springs, a much older lady. And I feel bad because I've been there with her. She's like, I need a bathroom and I have to like send her to Twin Towers. Is there that and like benches? I know you have the nice, like picnic kind of tables that were put in with the covers. Is there an idea to put benches in somewhere or bathrooms?
excellent. Because we want to put what's called a CXT, which is what we put at the falls, what we put at the Narrows. Well, that's all floodplain. So getting a good perk test is tough there. I mean, the soil will not support it. So we're going to put a porta potty in, which I really don't care for, but that's all it'll take at this
That's
point.
something.
And yeah, with those picnic tables, we have a design too that is just a bench that's covered,
Awesome.
and you'll see those scattered in there as well.
Awesome. And then the last question, I was hanging out with Dave Nolan. I'm assuming you know Dave.
Yes.
And we were working back there and I guess y'all just came through and cut it. I could tell it was cut. I was there yesterday. And he had mentioned, he's like, man, I want to get him to burn it. And then you just mentioned Russ.
Yeah.
So what's the process like to get, maybe like next year to
Well,
possibly burn?
We figure if it's not next year, it'll be the year after, because first you have to make sure you have enough fuel.
Mhm.
And there's not enough fuel in
It's
that.
pretty wet.
Oh, yeah, but there's not enough fuel yet.
Built up, yeah.
Yeah, because we hired a company called Cardno to do the plantings. And so when they cleaned it all out, you have to make sure you have enough fuel for it to burn.
Mhm.
But yeah, that'll be there.
Okay, awesome. That's it. Sorry.
Yes, sir, and then I'll get back.
Are you working on an app that we can pull up an app and just see these parks?
Yeah, we are. See, you guys are on top of it, because but there's one that'll do, you'll be able to pull up the park and it'll show you the trails. And it'll keep track of how many miles you've gone and the whole deal. Yes, sir.
Under the topic of park personalities, did you interact at any time in your career with Dick Walwell or Marvin Alinsky?
Marvin Alinsky, yes, over 5 Rivers. The other gentleman, I've heard the name, but don't know that I ever met him, but yes, oh yeah. Yeah, Marvin Alinsky. He was a legend down here.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you again. Really appreciate it. Obviously, if you have time and you guys have more questions, mostly Brandon, I'm talking directly to Brandon right now. After the meeting, you can meet with him. I do have a couple quick announcements real quick. April 30th is Rotary's Day of Service. Beth Cusack is putting that together for the district. Again, you have an email to sign up for that. It is from 8 in the morning till noon. And then at 1 p.m. is David Fleming's service. So definitely can make both. Yeah, would love for you guys to come out for the Rotary service. We're actually sponsoring the luncheon. So we do have some Rotarians obviously signs up. Actually, our club has the most right now. But I know they were looking for 100 and something, and we're definitely short of that. So if you're free, that we're actually planning, sir, so you're a parks guy, and we'll be putting in a garden. So if you're free on the 30th, let us know. Lastly, we have the email invites for Founders Day. The mailers went out. Thank you, Don, for taking care of that. So you should be getting this in the mail. Obviously, there's some on the table. So same as last year, Country Club of the North. We're starting at 5:30 opposed, I think we started at 6 last year. But 5:30 is the social, and then 6:30 is the dinner. So please RSVP to that so we know how many people are coming. And last but not least, we always donate a book, which you'll have a couple at the library, but it's called Rabbit and Bear, The Pest in the Nest. So this was picked out for you, obviously. But yeah, that'll go to the library for you. Let's stand for the pledge. Would you like to lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.